We see that people actually do have money. They want to spend it. They just didn't like the form of the know-how that it had before. I think possibly online courses will change, or the whole era of how knowledge is put into online courses will change. I actually canceled all my online courses. We basically went all in. So for 3 months, we just worked on building this product, and I really believed in it. The launch was 3 times better than the best one we've ever done. This is really what people want. Their referrals were just so amazing. They mentioned stuff like, I have learned more in 1 month than I've learned in 5 years before that. It can actually provide a much better value than any humans can.
Hello and welcome to the Art of Selling Online Courses. We are here to share winning strategies and secret hacks from top performers in the online course industry. My name's John Ainsworth and today's guest is Lydia Macheva. Now Lydia is a polyglot and an entrepreneur from Slovakia who has learned 9 languages on her own and can teach anyone how to learn any language without teachers, language courses, or traveling abroad. And her TED Talk on the secrets of learning a new language has been viewed more than 19 million times. She's co-hosted 2 polyglot gatherings, the world's largest polyglot event. And after almost 10 years of running language mentoring in Slovakia, she's moved from selling courses to selling AI mentors, ones that have all of her know-how and guides clients on their language learning journey in a very personalized way based on a monthly subscription. And the launch had over 400 customers sign up, was her biggest ever launch by 3 times. And the testimonials from her first users are more excited than anything she's ever created. And she's already got over 22,000 happy clients, so that gives you an idea. So today we're going to talk about why she decided to move from her course business to focus on building an AI product, how come it did so well, how it works, why her clients like it so much, and how you can replicate her success. Lydia, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, John. It's good to see you.
So, what's your feeling about the future of online courses? Do you feel like it's totally doomed, or like what is it that was your kind of position on this that caused you to make such a big change?
Yeah, well, we've had this discussion with quite a lot of people recently, maybe in the past 2 or 3 years, that online courses are getting worse and worse when it comes to selling, right? And when we compare the business volume to the years in the COVID era, for example, and post-COVID years, well, many people report that it's maybe down 40 or 50%, and that was also our case. So even though we've been doing things the same way, and I think we know how to do funnels and how to sell the product and everything else, people just didn't buy as much recently, and the conversions were just getting worse. So we still got a lot of people interested in the topic. They opened the emails, they read the sales pages, but then they didn't buy, right? And originally I thought that the reason is that people don't have money, you know, the economic situation in Slovakia is getting worse, But actually, as it turned out, now that we did the launch in September with a completely new product, a completely new way of delivering value and knowledge to our clients, we see that people actually do have money. They want to spend it. They just didn't like the form of the know-how that it had before. And that brings me to the idea that I think possibly online courses will change, or the whole era of how knowledge is put into online courses will change. And it actually makes sense to me because I don't know about you, John, but I don't Google stuff anymore. If I want to
almost never.
Right?
We almost never Google anything.
Right?
Yeah.
and before that, you know, you would go like, okay, like Google, I don't know, you would say like hotels in Vienna, something, right? And now you go to ChatGPT and it already has pretty good context about you. So you tell it, okay, I'm looking for a hotel for me and my family. And ChatGPT knows who your family is, and you know that I have a 1.5-year-old. And we want to spend there 3 days, and we want to be close to the city center, but not in a rush street. And, you know, you give all these details in there, and then it gives you something out of it, right? Well, I think this is exactly how it could work and should work, and it can work now, I know, with any knowledge, basically. So to give you an example, when I taught people how to learn languages in the past with online courses, I would tell them, okay, let's look at vocabulary. This is the vocabulary module. And now I need you to listen to me for 1.5 hours because I want to make sure that you understand what you've been doing wrong and how vocabulary is taught in schools, which is not really an effective way. And now I have a completely different way how to do it. And these are all the possibilities and all the details. And after that 1.5 hours, you would then go out there and actually try those methods by yourself. You would probably stumble upon a few problems. You would maybe ask us a question and we would reply within 24 hours. And by the time you actually learn some words, it would take forever. And as we know, many people don't even get to that point, right? I mean, the statistics are that 5 to 15% of people actually finish an online course when they buy it. So it seems to me that people are buying more of an idea of a result rather than the result, right? So they want to learn a language, they buy my course, but actually what they're buying really is hope of one day learning the language. But it takes a lot of energy and time for them to really get to that process of learning and then get to the result. So in this long way, I'm getting to the main point, which is AI makes things a lot more personified and detailed, so that you don't have to go through that hour and a half of vocabulary explanation, but you can tell me, you know what, Lydia, this is my situation. I've been learning Spanish for quite some time. This is how I've been learning vocabulary. This is what works for me. This is what doesn't. And I wonder if I can improve it in any other way. And then with all that context, I don't need to give you this hour and a half of, these are all the possibilities. I know exactly how to help you. So it's as if you had a consultation with me in person, and I would just go straight to the things that you need to learn on your level. And we don't have to bother with the details which are not relevant to you. That's exactly how it works now with my product, which is not an online course, but as you mentioned, it's an AI mentor that has all my know-how and takes out the relevant bits and pieces of my know-how and gives it to you in a very short way right away, so that it actually saves you a lot of time. Did that make sense?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff to kind of unpick there. So one of the things that we've seen within data-driven marketing is that some clients, the sales have been going down steadily over time. And language courses seem to be more commonly in that space. And it's not all of them, but it is a decent, but like we definitely both know some of the same people who've seen this, right? Who've seen like it wasn't just there was a peak at COVID and then it went back down again. It's like, no, it's down from pre-COVID as well. And I don't know what all the reasons are for that. I feel like AI's got to be part of it. But I wonder as well if it's just also expectations have changed. More people have taken courses that they didn't finish, like you're talking about. There's more competition. There seem to be 1,000 channels on YouTube of language with name, right? Like we've we know lots of friends are doing that, and then maybe more people saw that and started doing it, so that's taking more of the pie. Instead of the whole pie.
Sure. I mean, I'm not trying to say it's so straightforward, like this is the problem and this is the solution.
Yeah.
But what I definitely see in there, and I've had this idea for about a year, like ever since I really started to use ChatGPT heavily every day, I just realized how much better and easier it is if you get your answer right away and you don't have to go on Google and read a lot of articles and wonder if you ever find the answer that you're looking for. So I was thinking for quite some time, is there any way how I could make all my know-how about language learning accessible to people in a quicker way? Right? I mean, somehow prepared for them in chunks that are easier for them to consume, because also people's attention is getting shorter and shorter because of all the social media. So actually watching a module about vocabulary for an hour and a half is quite a lot today.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, so the reason I was bringing all those different things up is because if someone's listening and they think, well, my sales aren't going down, I don't need to worry about this. It's like, I think the thing is, I mean, one, maybe that will happen in different niches over time. But secondly, if you've figured out a way that can make someone's learning experience better, that's like such an obvious win then, isn't it? Because it's like, great, okay, cool. If you can help your students more and you can improve your product, then you can be better than the competition. You can sell more of your courses. You can help more of your students. They'll get better results. You'll get more word of mouth. All of these things are great. And I think sometimes when things are going fine, as they have been in the course, they were in the course space for many years, right? It's very tempting to most people to just be like, oh, cool, I'll just carry on doing what I was doing. Like, I've got a friend who's been on the podcast before. You might know him. He basically just went hunting for 2 years. He just really likes going hunting, and off he went. He kind of just left his business in somebody else's hands and went off hunting, and had a great time. And then he's like, "Oh shit, stuff's going downhill. I need to do something about it now." Right? It's just like you've said before, right? That there aren't really any passive income businesses exactly. It's like at some point you've got to jump back in and get it working again. And I feel like this is an opportunity for most of us to be like, oh, right, here's a way to move the business forwards, to use AI to make it better. And we can start doing it now, even before we have to.
Yeah. Well, I absolutely agree with that. And even if it's not a major shift like I did, so I actually canceled all my online courses.
That's
Which
bold,
were,
Lydia. When did you
yeah,
do that?
right after the launch.
Right. You're like, the
So
launch went great. That's it. No more courses.
yeah. And we basically went all in. So for 3 months, we just worked on building this product, and I really believed in it.
Yeah.
And then the launch, which was 3 times better than the best launch we've ever done,
Yeah.
basically confirmed that this is really what people want, and we know how to explain to them the value of what they're getting. And given that they haven't, returned it to us within the 14 days guarantee, that
Yeah.
kind of proves that they, it actually does deliver what it says on the box. So then we canceled all the courses, basically because it would be difficult to explain to them why they should buy this big course now when they have something much better available at the same time. But
So
so
put us
what I
through-
was going to say is, even if people don't make that huge shift, I think it makes sense to think about ways how you can improve your current online courses and add an AI thing into that, which will basically help the people consume your know-how and make sure that they can apply it to their lives, because this is what most people struggle with. Even if you have the best course in the world and it has the best know-how explained in a good way, you still need to apply it to really get value. And if there is an AI GPT or something that can help you do that, I think that's worth considering for sure.
So I want to go back just one step here before I start getting into the details with you of like, okay, well, what actually did you build and how did it work? So one of the things you noticed was that some of your students weren't finishing the courses and they weren't actually managing to apply anything. You'd noticed that you were using ChatGPT instead of Google, and you're like, okay, there's probably something here. How was your course business doing? Was that still doing fine, or was that starting to decrease in sales already when you started thinking about this?
It was decreasing. So we were about 40%, 50% down from the previous years. But it's also hard to pinpoint exactly what the reason was, because it coincides with the time that I went on maternity leave with my baby. So I gave birth, and I was at home for half a year. I didn't work at all, and I had the passive income, right, at that time. But then, of course, I needed to step back in and figure out what we do as a long-term vision, because we saw that it's kind of decreasing slowly.
Yeah.
So it was still doing pretty well. Like, we were still profitable. It was a working business. There was definitely no reason to cancel it right away, or we were in debt or anything like that.
Okay, so let's say someone's listening to this and they're like, okay, I'm on board with this concept, this idea. Maybe I should give this a bash. Maybe I should build something with AI. What was it for you that made you think, oh, this is possible, I can build something? Had you been messing around with custom GPTs? Did you know other people who'd been building AI products? Like, what caused you to think, I could actually do something here?
Yeah. I had been thinking about it for a few months. It's like, how can we could put all the know-how into a GPT and give it to our clients. But then the problem is, how do you sell a GPT? And how do you protect it from being shared, right?
Yeah.
That's the main problem. And right now, there is no solution that ChatGPT offers, or any other LLMs, as far as I know. And that's when I stumbled upon this Czech startup company that offers a product exactly for that. So they basically give you an LLM where you put your know-how in it on a Google Drive. You really copy all your videos, audios, textbooks, ebooks, whatever you have in whatever format. And in a few hours, you basically have a mentor that has all your know-how, and it works as a chatbot. So your clients can chat with it. And the best thing is that you can sell it. It's meant to be a product based on a monthly subscription, where you give your clients access to your chatbot with a certain amount of messages that they can exchange. And then they pay monthly. And as long as they pay, they have access. When they stop paying, they don't have access. So this business aspect of it was quite important to me too.
And what's the tool called?
It's called BuddyPro. BuddyPro.ai.
AI. I went on their site earlier and was kind of checking it out a little bit, and I've been playing with Has your one got a name? I forget.
Yeah, her name is Almi. So
Almi, yes.
Almi.
Me and Almi
It's
were
like
having a chat.
AI and Lydia Machova, the letters.
Okay, yeah, I get it.
Right.
Almi and I were having a chat about, I was like, oh, what if I learn German? So my girlfriend is German, and I don't think her parents speak any English.
That's
And
useful
it's
for
like,
you.
oh, we might go over to Hamburg next year. And it's like, I did GCSE, German, and I got an A, and that's 30 years ago, and I don't remember any of it.
Right.
Maybe it's in my brain there somewhere. I don't know. We'll
Yeah.
see. So Almi and I were having a chat, and it suggested, what do you
She.
call it? She?
It's she for me.
She suggested a whole bunch of different resources for me. So that was really interesting. I was enjoying that.
Mm.
What was involved in the process of training BuddyPro?
It was really straightforward. Basically, I bought a license and I got access to a Google Drive, and I just I dragged all the files that I have available in there. And it can easily work with transcripts of your coaching calls, if that's something you have, right? So it doesn't have to be like nicely put and organized know-how in beautiful bullet points. It's like AI, like ChatGPT. It can work with pretty interesting context about anything. And then you have a system prompt, which is basically a main document where you specify what this chatbot really is about, how it helps your clients, in what ways, and what are the main rules that it follows. So basically, you give it the do's and don'ts of how to use that know-how, and that's basically it. I mean, it can really take you a few hours or a few days, depending on how much know-how you have. And if it doesn't find something within your know-how, then it uses the internet. So it's like ChatGPT, but enhanced with specific know-how that you put in there. And primarily, it uses your know-how, and only if it doesn't have it, then it takes information from the internet.
And then you mentioned earlier that you'd spent like a few months building it and training it. Was there a lot of tweaking it after that you did to refine the process, or?
Not really. In our case, it took us a lot longer because we basically needed to redo the whole know-how. We were going to do it anyway with the courses, but it would take us a lot longer because AI changed a lot of the methods that we actually advise to our students.
Oh, so your system changed. So you had to update all of your system in order to...
Yes, everything, really. Like a lot of the apps that we recommended earlier were just not relevant anymore because ChatGPT can do that, right? Or ChatGPT can be a great tutor for you to practice your speaking with. So it doesn't make sense to explain in a long way how to find a native speaker in your town, to practice with. It can still be a method that people choose to do, but there is a much easier version now with ChatGPT. So that's why it took us a lot longer.
I just realized something that the listener might not know. Could you give people a really brief explanation on the way that you help people learn languages? Because it's very different to the way other people do. And if people are thinking, it's a French course or a Slovakian course, then some of this won't make sense.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. So my know-how, even with video courses, was quite different. I've learned 9 languages by myself, and somewhere by language number 4 or 5, I understood what the principles were, how to learn any language. And then I realized you can actually apply it to any language, even those languages that I don't speak. So I have helped people learn languages that I don't speak. I specifically focus on people who have already some basics and want to get to the really fluent level, so not the complete beginners. And I help them create a system where they will pick several methods that polyglots love to use, and you create your own little system of, let's say, 3 methods for some input, let's say listening to podcasts, for some output, like talking to ChatGPT, or in the past having an online tutor, and something to help you with vocabulary or grammar. And you have your own learning plan, and it changes every 2 months, and this is how you learn the language. It takes me 2 years to learn a language from 0 to total fluency. And that's basically the promise of my courses.
I remember one time we were at a conference, it would have been Budapest, 3x'd Budapest. And I was saying to you, I just want to be able to go to the market and order hams and cheeses and this kind of thing. And you're like, have you considered Google Translate? It's like, you don't need to learn the language, John. You just need to know 20 words.
Yeah. And that's it. I mean, it's better to know when not to learn a language because it takes a lot of effort, right?
Yeah.
If the only thing you need is to impress people with these 5 sentences, then go ahead and use them, right? Learn them. So what I focus on is helping people achieve real fluency so that you can use the language in normal conversations about anything, and then actually keep the language long term and not to forget it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's get back into Almi. So you've trained up Almi. It's taken a few months to redo all of the know-how. You've uploaded that. Was there anything else involved in the offer? Was the offer get access to Almi, or was there anything else that people could access with that?
So I created the offer based on Alex Hormozzi's $100 million offer. Is that what the book is called? Okay.
Yeah.
And so the main product was Almi, chatbot that helps you. That is basically the mentor, as if you were talking to me, but you can message me any time of the day, even 3 a.m. at night, and I will reply right away. Almi will reply, of course, but she has my know-how. And there were really important bonuses on top of that. And one of them is a GPT that we call Geppetto. And Geppetto is like your online tutor that you can have conversations with. And the reason why we decided to give it as an extra is, first of all, it's a nice bonus. So it sounds much better when you actually offer it, that this is a bonus worth a lot. But also, Almi comes with a limitation of messages, and it's 500 messages per month. And the reason it's limited is because I pay for every message that my clients send to Almi and that Almi replies. So I need to limit it for them, because otherwise it would be too expensive for me. And Almi can actually be your online tutor, but you would spend most of your messages just, conversing or just practicing your language. So we wanted to give you some extra amount of practicing outside of those 500 messages. And so that we built a GPT that is an online tutor, and they kind of co-work together. Yeah, this is a specific thing about our product.
And is that the one that they'll actually practice speaking with? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, so with Geppetto, you can also use the advanced voice mode, which is the best thing about ChatGPT. It's much better than any other LLM for language purpose. But with Almi, you can do anything else. So you can ask her to correct your mistakes, to explain grammar to you, stuff like that. But you could use all your messages. And we wanted people to use Almi as the mentor to guide you in the process of learning languages, but to really practice the language with Geppetto.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Is Geppetto the one who made Pinocchio?
Yes, that's right.
Is that who? Okay, that's who.
Yeah, we wanted to find a name that people would understand that this is really a ChatGPT, know. So it's Geppetto. It's just a wordplay. Yeah. And then there is a third bonus, and that is an accountability sheet where people track their learning, and Almi, Geppetto, and the sheet kind of work all together.
Nice.
So it's an ecosystem for learning languages, basically.
Could you give anyone who hasn't read Alex Hormozzi's $100 million offer some kind of a brief, I don't know, a few minutes maybe, overview of the process that you went through in order to figure out that these were the things that are needed? I know a lot of people who've read it and have never implemented it. So I really like that you've okay, I read it and then I went through the process and I implemented it and it worked. It's like, okay, great.
Yeah.
Do you think you could do that?
The best idea that I got out of it was, I was only listening to it as an audiobook, and I got this idea. I was like, of course, you need to keep asking yourself questions. It's like, what are the problems that people will tell you when they hear about your main offer? And I tell them okay, here you have the perfect tool to learn any language. And they go yeah, but it's limited and I will want to practice speaking more. It's like, okay, you've got this unlimited ChatGPT basically that comes with it. Oh yeah, but you know what? I struggle with motivation a lot. I will just not be able to keep at it. That's where you have the tracking sheet, right? So I was trying to build it in this way. And there were a few other bonuses that were just in addition to the main offer, where, we were basically just looking at what people could object to and, how we can solve that for them.
Nice. If you want to go and listen to a podcast episode about Alex Hormozzi's $100 million offer, I recorded one, it's episode 177, where I take you through the full breakdown of how do we apply it when we're working with a client? What do we take from it and what do we actually implement? And connected with that, there is a workbook template, which I made for myself because I read the book and was like, right, now I need to do it. But I have to, what were the steps exactly again? So I went back through and made a list of these are all the steps you need to do in order to actually implement it. So if you are listening and you want to download that, you can get that as well.
Yeah. I can tell you that I use ChatGPT for that. Basically, I told him, you are Alex Hormozzi, help me build this offer based on your tips. And it already had the context about the product and what we were developing. So it gave me a lot of ideas that I was just brainstorming with ChatGPT. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of elements to it, aren't there? But I think one of the main concepts, like you're kind of saying, is find all the places where people are going to get stuck. Find all the problems that people are going to have. How can you make it easier? How can you make it quicker for them? How can you make them more likely to succeed?
Right.
And come up with things that are going as bonuses that are going to actually allow them to do it more easily, more quickly, more likely to succeed with it.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like, oh, cool. Well, that's all of my problems solved.
Yeah.
This is great,
Yeah.
you know. And he has a lot of different exercises within the book. Now, imagine you're doing it in person. Imagine you're doing it one-on-one. Imagine you're doing it in a group. Imagine you're doing it only online, whatever. And a lot of that is ways to help you brainstorm how can you solve that problem.
Yeah.
So that at the end, you can take from that brainstorm, okay, which ones am I actually going to use? Which is exactly what you've done, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He also helped me realize that the value that this product is giving people is really immense. And I shouldn't give a price tag to it which I feel comfortable with, you know. Like, he helped me boost my self-confidence in actually pricing it a bit higher, at least for Slovak circumstances. And I felt confident doing it, because I know that if people get this, what it offers to them, and if they actually pay a lot of money, they're going to pay a lot of attention, right? Who pays attention, right? So I knew that if I gave it to people for like $20 a month, then they wouldn't really take it seriously, and then I cannot provide them with the value, right? So it's actually my responsibility to price it a bit higher and make sure that people appreciate it. And then when they follow the advice, because they've paid more money, they will actually get the results. So I know they will, but they need to really do the steps, right? He helped me with that as well.
How much are you charging for this then?
We had 3 packages, and the most expensive was if you just buy 1 month and then you prolong as long as you wish, and that's $148. Then we had a 6-month package where 1 month costs you $113, and then a 12-month package where it's $97 a month. That was the cheapest, and in that case you had to pay over $1,100 at once without any installments. And what really surprised me is that actually 1/3 of the people in the whole launch actually chose that 1-year program.
And this is people who you were convinced didn't have enough money to buy the courses beforehand, right?
Yeah, I was really surprised, because that's what we've been telling ourselves in our team all this time. It's like, yeah, the sales are going down, but you know, you see the situation, you read the news, of course it is, like everything is getting more expensive and ta-da-da. Well, not really. I mean, people do realize that learning a language can give them a lot of opportunities on the job market. It's maybe more important than ever to actually speak a language fluently. And they do have the money when they see something of value, and they have seen it with my offer.
So let's get into that a little bit then. So this was 3 times as successful as your previous biggest launch that you've ever done, right? Yeah. You're obviously convinced about it. Do you have any other ideas of like, why did this do so well? Do you think you can kind of, I assume you've thought about this a bunch, right? Since it happened, but why do you think it worked so well? I
think there were a few reasons. First of all, it was really a totally new product, a new offer, something that we haven't done in a long time. In the past 3 years, we had been offering the same type of product over and over again. So maybe that was also one of the reasons why it was going down. And the email database was just getting tired of the same offer or similar offer. But also we did quite some hype in the summer, in the few weeks before the launch, and we were creating some teasing videos of like, Lydia is working on something really exciting. This is gonna change everything. It's the future of online learning. It's the sci-fi of online learning, something like that. And so people were quite curious, and we needed to get them all to the live webinar. We never mentioned anyone else like what the product is and how much it will be. It was a secret. You will learn it in the webinar.
Okay, that's fascinating.
We had a lot of testers, so I wanted to make sure that it really does what it says and it helps people. So I got 50 testers to test the product for 1 month, and that's actually what really convinced me that this is something else, because their referrals were just so amazing. They mentioned stuff like, I have learned more in 1 month than I've learned in 5 years before that. Like really, really strong things. And I wanted to make sure that the testers are not my best clients who would buy anything that I
Yeah.
create. I actually
Oh,
specifically
Lydia, I love you. Your stuff's so wonderful.
no, I mean, I appreciate people who, like are the best clients for us and they love everything I create.
Yeah.
But I wanted to make sure that this really is a product for people who are not my usual clients. So I specifically sent an email like 2 months before the launch to the whole database. And I asked them, I'm looking for a few testers who have either never bought my product or bought a product, but it hasn't helped them. So if you have been unsuccessful with any of my courses, then please sign up for
Bold.
to be
I
a free
like that.
tester. Yeah, and we got like 800 people volunteering for this like right away. I couldn't even read all those replies, but I used ChatGPT, of course, to help me go through it.
Yeah.
And we chose 50 of them. And and the ones who actually stuck with it and learned for 4 weeks had amazing results. Yeah, like they really loved it. They said, this is so much more fun. This is more interactive. I don't need to watch anything boring for a long time. I'm just learning right away. And if I'm like busy at work, I just record a voice message to Elmi and she tells me how to change the plan. That's so amazing. Like they really loved it. And that's when I felt really confident, like, okay, like we're doing the right thing. It will work out. Let's do it.
Nice. Okay. And can you share for anybody who's like, oh man, I want to build one of this. This sounds awesome. Can you share like what's the cost of the license for? Sorry, if you told me the name of it. The
BuddyPro. Yeah,
BuddyPro.
maybe I wouldn't mention it just because the podcast can be here for longer, and I don't know how their pricing changes.
Okay.
By the way, I'm not like affiliated with them in any way. I just want to
Yeah.
make sure that that's clear. I just think that it's a great product, and I know there are a few other services which offer something similar, but I've talked to a few people who tried that, and they said it didn't work really well, and the answers that they got from the chatbot were not really well. Well, I can say my experience, and now the experience of about 200 other entrepreneurs in Slovakia and Czech Republic who have bought the license, is that it does a really good job of getting the right pieces of know-how out there and applying it. So
Nice.
yeah.
Are there any other costs besides the license? Are there any other costs?
Yes. So when you buy the original license, then you pay for every message that is actually sent. So you sell a package of 500 messages to your client, and you need to price it in a way where if the client uses all 500 messages, you will still be profitable. But if the client doesn't, then you basically have a bigger profit. So that means that ideally, you want your clients to use the service a lot, but possibly not use all of the messages every month. But even if they did, I mean, we would be okay because we counted on that possibility. So that's why we priced it the way we did.
Yes. And how much do you pay per message that someone?
That depends on a few factors. It depends on the amount of your know-how, the length of your system prompt. So it's a little bit more complicated, but currently it's about $5 per message.
Okay.
Yeah.
So $5. Okay, so $0.05 per message ish, ballpark-ish kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah.
If somebody else is like, okay, I've got a course business, I'm interested in this idea, I want to go give this BuddyPro a go. What's any tips you've got for people? Like what stuff that you learned through this process or you've seen others learn that maybe somebody could shortcut?
The most fascinating thing for me was that while you are building this product, you actually ask the product how to do it. So I had Elmi with no knowledge of my own.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, how do I configure you? Like, what do I do? It's like, well, you need to do the Google Drive. Like they have all the manuals and everything. You can follow that. But this is your best technical support for building itself. Like it was just so fascinating to me. And even today, like right now, I'm working on a new part of know-how. So now I'm going to specialize on total beginners, which may be something for you, John. And I want to add some know-how from other courses in there so that it can help total beginners. And I'm doing it all with Elmi. So I'm telling her, basically, I'm recording messages like, okay, Elmi, I need to make sure that you have this know-how. So please phrase it for me, like create this document that I will add to your know-how base. And I want to achieve this and this and that. And we need to make sure that this and this doesn't happen. And to Drew, and it just gives you the Google Doc that you give to the knowledge base. So this for me has been really amazing. Just the process of creating it is like, okay, I have all this know-how. How do I even put it in there? How do I process it? How do I format it? The BuddyPro instance basically tells you how to do it itself. It's I don't know, it's fascinating.
It's great, isn't it? I do with Claude projects. I'm working on one for helping me. I'm writing a book at the moment, and one of the things I've been learning from. Do you know James Svetuk?
No.
Okay, another DCer, but anyway, so he's very good at building Claude projects, and one of the things he's been showing me is what you can do is you set up a Claude conversation and you ask it, what things do I need to include in the instructions? What do I need to include in the project knowledge in order to make this a really good project?
Yeah.
And it gives you all the details of what you should put in, and you put all of that stuff in, and then you try it, and maybe what you get back isn't quite what you wanted.
Yeah.
And then you go back to the other chat outside of the project and you say, okay, I got back this wasn't what I wanted. What do I need to change? And it tells you. And I'm like, oh, that's fascinating, isn't it? You're using one tool to improve the same tool, you know?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I use AI a lot in my business. We are basically including AI in everything that we do now. And I also use it in this way of learning new apps, for example. The other weekend, I was just learning how to program something in N8N. I don't know if you know about it. It's like
Yeah, I've started using it, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. So I had no idea, like, how do I use it? So I just opened ChatGPT. It's like, okay, I want to make a workflow. Help me figure out what workflow would work best for my business. And it has all the context about my business, so it already knows. It gave me an idea. It's like, okay, let's try this one. I'm listening. What should I do? Okay, click here, do this. And the AI can help you with so many things. It's just, it fascinates me really how it is like a whole new team of people that we've hired using AI. And Elmi is our new team member, She helps our support people. She creates products with me. She actually helped me build the offer as well. So
Yeah.
I told Elmi, like, okay, let's do it the Alex Hormozy way. Like, what could we add? You have all the know-how. So what are people missing? What is interesting to them? It's fascinating.
For anyone who doesn't know, N8N is one of the automation tools. It's kind of similar to Make or Zapier AI agents, but it's the one that seems to be on the market at the moment, the best one. And we've been doing, I really liked playing around with Zapier AI agents because you can write to it in natural language. You don't have to code anything at all. And it just goes, oh, you've told me what to do, and it goes and builds it. And again, you communicate with it to improve it. But it's a little bit buggy for the last 10, 15, 20% of the getting what you want. It's great as a proof of concept, but N8N is better for actually building the software. And yeah, I've done the same thing with you were saying about chatting to ChatGPT about that kind of thing. It's like I've been using it. I wanted to get the blurred background on my podcast camera, and I didn't have it with the lens that I had. And I was like, what's all this f-stop aperture nonsense? What's all going on here? And I asked ChatGPT about it, and it's like, oh, you want to get this lens or that lens? And I got it. And then it's like, oh, it's not working. How do I configure it? And it's like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah.
This is so much easier than watching the YouTube videos, because you never know if you find the right video for your problem.
I cannot imagine actually going back to that. Like, I think that if
only been 2 years, and it was like, how could you have lived without this?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I imagine a conversation with my daughter when she's a bit older, and it's like, so what did you do when you didn't have an answer to a question? It's like, well, we Googled it, and then we looked through articles and videos, and sometimes you never got the answer you wanted. It's like, why would you do that? Yeah. I'm now teaching my grandma to work with ChatGPT, which is
nice.
fun because she asked me, like, how do I get rid of these moles in the garden? It's like, I don't know, grandma, but let me ask ChatGPT, and I put ChatGPT on the voice mode so that she actually hears the reply, and she's like, this is impossible. This is like God. And then I go like, okay, ChatGPT, my grandma thinks that you're a god. How would you explain that you're not? And we had so much fun.
Okay, we're about running out of time. If there's anything else, what else is there that I haven't thought to ask you about that might be useful to someone listening if they want to maybe do this?
What I think people could take out of this podcast is just maybe this one idea about the future of online products and expert business products, because this is something that's very relevant to anyone who is offering any type of consultations, VIP consultations, courses where it takes a lot of their personal know-how. If you answer people a lot of questions, if you think that you do maybe have a team, but you cannot trust your support to actually reply to all those questions, then I think this might be worth considering for you. Maybe not this particular one like BuddyPro, but maybe just having a ChatGPT with all the know-how and using it every day in at least in your support work, you know. It saves so much time and energy, and I think this is what the goal is for all entrepreneurs, right? Starting a creative business, like you want to free yourself of doing all that stuff, and I believe that AI is here to do that. But it takes time. We need to really work on it. It takes a lot of effort at the beginning, but then when you see it actually saving you so much time, it's just so amazing. Like right now, at this moment as we're speaking, there are possibly dozens of my clients out of the hundreds that have the product who are asking me questions about language learning. And the great thing is that even if I did have a one-on-one consultation with all of them, I couldn't possibly give them a better value than Elmi does because I wouldn't remember all the details. She does, right? I mean, maybe it's happened to you, John, that you may have paid, I don't know, a famous mentor like $25,000, you know, to be in their program, and then you got like half an hour with them or 15 minutes with them to help you one-on-one to solve an issue. Like there's no chance that in that time you can even give the context about your business. Like, he doesn't know anything, and you're paying so much money to talk to someone who actually has a lot of know-how, but it's not possible to transfer it to you within a short consultation, and especially not if it's a one-time thing, because then you have some follow-up questions, right? And I believe this is what this product is great for, because it remembers all the history about you, and it just personifies everything to your needs, to your situation, so it can actually provide a much better value, right, than any humans can. So yeah, I'm just impressed by AI in general, as you probably can see. And I find it amazing that yeah, we can increase or how do I say, we can share the know-how within so many people, with so many people at the same time using AI.
Beautiful. Nice. If you listen to this and you then decide to go ahead and build an AI tool, whether it's with BuddyPro or any of the other systems out there, and it works well for you, message me. I would love to hear from anybody else who's starting to do this kind of thing. I think Lydia's kind of trailblazing to a certain extent. I know there's others obviously who've done this, but like I don't know many in the space who are doing this. So it's like if you try this after hearing this episode, then just drop me an email, john@datadrivenmarketing.co, and I would love to hear from you. Lydia, thanks so much for coming on today. I think this is fantastic. I know you put a lot of effort in advance, like preparing all your notes of how you could answer all the questions today. If someone wants to just go check you out and kind of learn about your polyglot system or learn about what you're up to, where can they go?
Yeah, thank you as well for the great interview. My website in English is languagementoring.com, but we don't have Elmi implemented in there yet. We're going to work on it next year. So everything I talked about is in my Slovak business, which is called jazykovymentoring.sk. Try to type that if you can. No, but yeah, we can stay in touch within languagementoring.com. Yeah.
Languagementoring.com. And one of the things you can look for actually is Lydia's TED Talk. It was a TED or TEDx
event? TED Talk in New York, in the
TED Talk in New York. It's had, like I said, 19 million views. So go check that out and learn the secrets of learning a new language. Lydia, thanks again so much for coming on. And hopefully I'll see you soon.
Yeah, hope to see you soon too. Bye.